You know what I'm saying? And before we end, we also going to end talking about going over this covenant, right? A lot of Christians tell us that that the covenant that the Most High made through the leadership of Moses to the people of Israel when he freed them out of Egypt, that covenant is over, right? And that Christ makes a new covenant, and we don't have to follow the things that come with the old covenant. You know what I mean? But in these records, Christ came and he was teaching us the old covenant. Nothing ever changed. You know what I mean? The prophets still exist, right? The law still exists. You know what I'm saying? And the covenant is still exists. He made a new agreement with us because we broke the old agreement. But everything in that old agreement still exists. It still stands. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into the curses and the blessings. We're going to get into the history, real black history. We're going to get into the curses and the blessings, right? That's the curses that we go through today. The blessings that some of us in the ISUPK, that us in the ISUPK obtain. You know what I'm saying? And if we follow the Most High, these blessings, these curses, they are all history too. They are all part of the laws and the statutes and the commandments that we are supposed to follow, going to this covenant, which is this agreement that we made with our God. You know what I'm saying? The terror. You know what I mean? So we're going to get straight into it. Genesis chapter 37, verse 2. If you want TikTok and you want IG, you can put your questions up. If you want YouTube, put your questions up. We'll get to you. And let's get to it.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 2. Genesis chapter 37, verse 2.
Can you hear him? You got it on YouTube? Was he clear? Was he static? Say it again.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 2.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Give us 1 second, Israel.
Go to where I'm reading. You need to go where I'm reading.
Slide the meter all the way up. You probably behind. Hey, Bakar, you probably behind. Slide the meter all the way up on the YouTube. Say something now.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 2.
That's all I'm going.
All right, ready?
Done.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 2. These are the generations of Jacob.
Now, these are the generations of Jacob. He's getting ready to get into the sons of Jacob. Jacob changed his name to Israel. The Most High changed his name to Israel. Jacob had 12 sons that made up the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, go ahead.
Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brother. And the lad was with the sons of Bala and with the sons of Zephah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report.
So listen, so Joseph is one of the sons of Jacob. You know what I'm saying? He's the youngest son of Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And he's about to get into, we're going to let the story tell you. He's out in the field. He's tending to the flock. He's with two of the wives of his father. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children.
Now, Salaki, now we know who Israel is. Israel is Jacob. His name was changed to Israel. So when you hear it in his story, just know that he's talking about Jacob. See?
Because he was the son of his old age.
Start from the beat.
Salakia. Verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age.
So Jacob favored Joseph. You know what I mean? He favored Joseph because he was the younger one of all his children. Like when you got a couple of kids, you love all your kids. But the youngest one, it's like he sparks that new you caring for him in that moment. He's the youngest one, you tending to him, you know what I mean? You teaching him, It's like it's that energy and that relationship that you had with your youngest son that you went through with your oldest son. But it's re-sparking it. You know what I mean? It's like he getting to talking, he moving, he doing all the new stuff, and you watching and he's getting back to it. Go ahead.
And he made him a coat of many colors. Verse 4. And when his brethren saw that the father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him, and could not speak peaceably unto him. Verse 5.
So stop right there. So now we see because his father favored him a little bit more, gave him a coat of many colors that his brothers disliked him. They was jealous in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And so like I'm not gonna say I don't want to get ahead of our story or whatever. I don't want to get ahead of the story. But this is the story of Jacob, right? Of Joseph. Jacob favored his youngest son. And the brothers noticed that and they disliked him. You know what I'm saying? They said they didn't speak peaceably unto him. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of bullied him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They kind of talked down on him. You know what I mean? Speaking peaceably to him, and like they didn't talk nicely to him. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet even more.
So he told him about a dream, right? And now his brothers really hated him. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to skip to this. We're going to, give me a second. Go down to verse 8.
Come on. Genesis chapter 37, verse 8. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us?
So in the dream, this was the interpretation of the dream, that Joseph would be over his brothers. You know what I'm saying? Rule or have more power, or have a position that was higher than them. And when he told him his dream, this is why, what made them upset. Go ahead, team.
Shalt thou indeed reign over us?
It's the question that he asked. You reign over us after he told him the dream. Go ahead.
Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words.
So they hated him more for the dream than they already did. He already had favor from his father. You know what I'm saying? That they was jealous about. You know what I'm saying? Now he had a dream saying that, he going to rule, that what might insinuate or interpret that he's going to rule over him or have rulership over him, or they would be under his tutelage or something like that in that manner. And they hated him even more. You know what I mean? And these was these were the 12 sons of, Israel, Jacob. You know what I mean? Go ahead, read verse 9.
Verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obedience to me.
And this dream is interpreting the same thing that they already is disliking their brother for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't be over us. You know what I'm saying? This is coming from a brother that's the youngest. You know what I'm saying? So they you can understand how, like, they really are in their feelings. I mean, you can see how they really would be in their feelings. Go ahead, verse 10.
Verse 10. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth?
So now even Jacob is questioning his dream, like, what is this? You know what I mean? He asking him the same thing, like, what did you dream? Little do they know that these dreams is coming from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High got something that he has in plan. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 11. And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same.
So his brothers envied what he was saying, but his father he observed what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to inquire about it. He took heed to it. You know what I'm saying? His father was wise. You know what I'm saying? He's not quick to just get upset about something, how we should be in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Have patience. And, what the general would tell us, to have patience. Don't be quick. You know what I'm saying? When something happened, to observe the situation and really and get counsel on it, or just observe it, give it time. You know what I'm saying? So this is the relationship that happened with the brothers, the 12 tribes, the brother Jacob's sons, right, and Joseph, his last son. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to skip to Genesis chapter 37 and 18. Now, I'm just giving y'all, this is the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Jacob had 12 sons, right? They got in a disagreement because the younger son was favored more. Then they got even their disagreement turned into more of a beef or a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Because of the dreams that the Most High was giving to Joseph. You know what I'm saying? On top of him already being favored by his father. And we're gonna read verse 37 and 18.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 18. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him.
Now, these are the 12 brothers, right? Now, they already, the 12 brothers went out to feed their father's flock. And somehow, some way, I'm just skimming through the story, right? Because it's a lot. That the brothers left Joseph. You know what I'm saying? They left him. You know what I mean? And Joseph couldn't find out where his brothers was. So he seen somebody and he asked him, have you seen, these men? So the guy that he asked told him, yeah, I heard them talking. They said they was going to go to, what it was called? Donoth. Donathan. How you pronounce that? Dothan.
Dothan.
Dothan. Yeah, they was going to Dothan. So he went to Dothan, you know what I'm saying, to catch up with his brothers, right? That's the same way how when you got all the brothers. You ever be beefing with them? They gotta take you home or something, and they just doing all types of. They mad about something, you know what I'm saying? They'll leave, they'll walk fast. You know what I'm saying? You like, what the? You know what I'm saying? It's the same situation, you know what I'm saying? They left, you know what I mean? And when he went to catch up with him, we right here at 18. We'll start from the top again.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 18. And when they saw him afar, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him.
And they could conspire to take their brother out. You know what I'm saying? And this, like, they hate their brother. You know what I'm saying? They hate this coming out in their actions. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that I want to touch on, I want to speak on. When you in here, the ISUPK, that's why having brotherhood going to council is so important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that dislike, that small disagreement, you know what I'm saying? That small thought in your mind turns into something that's bigger. You know what I'm saying? That it turns into that demon, gets strengthened by that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't handle that issue. You know what I mean? And sometimes we think that we can handle it on our own. You underestimating, you know what I'm saying, the power of Satan. You know what I'm saying? He one of the top, he's the top angel. And he do his job very well. You just look around the world. You know what I'm saying? You think that you can avoid it, you can just not talk to yo, you know what I'm saying? You can just avoid yo or not talk to him or deal with it yourself no, you need counsel on it, you know what I'm saying? Because you come out of the world, you're not fully trained, you know what I'm saying, to beat these demons by ourselves. That's why you gotta have brotherhood. That's the whole reason it was on the Passover flag. Zephaniah said, "Gather yourself together." You know what I mean? You're going to need counsel. You're going to need wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It's different brothers that specialize in different situations and specialize in different things. That been through different situations with that counsel and that wisdom from their experience can help you eliminate that feeling or get to an understanding of why you feel the way you feel quickly. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I was going to add that, if I may, that's what makes brotherhood a weapon.
Come to fight our demons. You know what I'm saying? To endure. You know what I'm saying? To learn and learn new things of how to fight these demons.
It's like that's at the point too. Just to add on, like when you get counsel, like here in the school, you go to your camp leader. You see what I'm saying? You let your camp leader know that you want counsel, and it'll go from there. You in the world listening to this, going to your peers is not counsel.
Right.
You know, going to somebody who feel the same way about a situation that you feel about already, that's not you seeking counsel. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's going to see you doing something that's going to land you in prison or land you, you know, in the grave. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, even outside of the UPK, you just watch it. You know, if you need counsel in a situation, you feel me? Call the school. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's for. It's not, counsel is not going to your peers, you know, just to, and getting yeses from a yes man. You understand? Like, it's actually calling the school, you know, and getting wise counsel.
Come. Let's get off the topic about that. That was a great point you making. You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking in the sense of, like, I was talking to people that was in school. When I say get counsel, like us in here in this class, we know to get, when I say get counsel, we know who we go to and how we get counsel. But for the people in the world, like going to your homegirls to get counsel on somebody who is already broken.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who never even been in the situation that you're talking to them about. They're just telling you what you want to hear because you're their friend.
Right.
And they want you to feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because they mimic your energy when you telling them. You can see them get upset as you telling them the story. You know what I'm saying? And they only getting one side. And they just telling you off of how they want you to feel better. Because the world all thinks we are supposed to feel good and get everything that makes us feel good all the time. You know what I'm saying? Their pursuit is to pursue happiness. So when you get counsel from a friend, that pursuit is just about you being happy. You know what I mean? That counsel comes off of you being happy, you getting what you want, right? Like the Christian church promotes and pushes all the time. So that was that. Where were we at? Where we stop at?
Verse 19, sir.
Will it continue?
Genesis chapter 37, verse 19. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Verse 20. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say, some evil beast hath devoured him.
So they trying to put a plan together to take him out so nobody can know. You know what I'm saying? And they can lie. Oh, give me 1 second. Khan. They said they call him the dreamer. You know what I mean? So they trying to take him out. Go ahead, continue. Verse 21.
Verse 20. And we shall see what will become of his dreams. Verse 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. Verse 22.
So the older brother Reuben, the eldest brother of the tribe, right? He said, let us not kill him. You know what I'm saying? If the hatred, like, yo, another thing we can look at, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This right here, while we talking about this, like, Israel, we deal with the same things. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything we reading while we going through this history rundown, go to Hosea 4 and 6, and hold this, and then somebody go to Hosea 4 and 6. Like, everything we reading right now is what we deal with today. Jealousy in the world, you know what I'm saying? And envy, right? And it gets so big that you want to kill, you know what I'm saying? You want to unalive your brother. You know what I'm saying? You got Hosea 4 and 6. And this is exactly what we dealing with. Read Hosea 4 and 6.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Come, right there. Because we reject knowledge, right? This is history. This is knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we reading right now is going on right now. We're reading the present and the past. You know what I'm saying? For a lack of knowledge, and that's why that's why we deal with the curses that we deal with. That's why we deal with the trauma that we deal with, because we don't get into real Black history. You know what I'm saying? Black history that will warn us and give and prepare us to beat. You know what I'm saying? The same things that we already went through. You know what I mean? Go ahead, continue. Not. You can drop that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can give me Romans 15 and 4, but you can continue to read.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 22. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again.
So, in a sense, Reuben saved them from getting unalived, but he still wanted to do harm to his brother. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to get him somewhere in a pit somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That somebody would come in and save him and give him to his father. You know what I'm saying? But he still wanted to do wrong to his brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead, continue.
Flyer. So this reminds us of, like you said today, like how this this book basically is talking about present time and the past time. Because today we know people who did stuff to their brothers. So it's like we live in the same. This story right here is a story that's been told millions of times. Nothing new under the sun. Genesis chapter 37, verse 23. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. Verse 24. And they took him and cast him into the pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. Verse 2.
Stop right there. Go down to skip that. Just go down to 26.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 26. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it, Salakia? What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Verse 27. Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content.
So they want to sell him into slavery now. You know what I'm saying? They want to sell their brothers to foreign nation. They trying to get rid of their brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stop right here. We're gonna read the next verse, but I want you to read Romans 15 and 4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
And that right there, this is why it's Black history. This is why this is Black history we getting in this book. You know what I'm saying? Because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? Because we don't read this book, right? And it's telling you right here in Romans 15 that the things that are in this book are written in foretime for our learning. This is where your learning comes from. This is where your knowledge comes from. And if you're not reading, if you want to follow the Christian church and not be in the Old Testament, then guess what? Hosea 4 and 6 says you are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because in Romans 15 and 4, you're not in this book reading the things that happened in foretime. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that happened before for your learning. You know what I'm saying? So how can the Christian church tell you that no Old Testament? They telling you no Black history. You know what I'm saying? Now go ahead. So now we at the point where the brothers get so mad because of the glory that he gets from his father, right? And the coats of many colors and the dream that he had. You know what I'm saying? The Most High choosing him. You know what I mean? That they get jealous. And now they want to slay him. You know what I'm saying? And even this story right here, they could learn from foretime. Because that was another situation where brothers unalived each other. Anybody know?
Cain and Abel, sir.
Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? So this something, you know, Israel, like you said, we got a hard head, man. You understand? But go ahead, continue.
Verse 28. Salakia. Genesis chapter 37, verse 28. Then there were passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit.
So they advertising them like some fresh pair of sneakers. You heard? The merchants that's coming by. Go ahead.
And sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt.
So all right, now Joseph is sold to an Ishmaelite, and they brought him to Egypt, right? So now this is a story that's getting down to us getting into Egypt as a whole. Now Jacob had 12 sons. One of them was disliked by the others, right? They sold him into slavery, and the Ishmaelites took him to Egypt. So now Joseph is a slave, and he is in Egypt. All right, so now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 42 and 1.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 1.
Now, before you get to it, now Joseph is he's a slave. You know what I'm saying? He's in Egypt. Just think of, you know, you somebody taking you, your brother selling you, taking you all the way to Russia. You know what I'm saying? You locked up, you a slave. You know what I'm saying? You come out, you do your work or whatever, and you go back wherever the other slaves go at. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Joseph had the talent of dreaming dreams. Of interpreting. So I could interpret dreams. You know what I'm saying? He dreamed a dream in this one, but he also had the talent of interpreting dreams. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift. So you know what I'm saying? A gift of interpreting dreams. Boy.
Question, sir. They were living, Joseph and his brothers, they were living in Israel at the time when they did this?
No, I think they were living in the land of Canaan. Go ahead.
Like, before we go on, the idea of his brothers is like so many of these stories in the scriptures about, you know, the hatred brothers be having for each other. It be over something so small and petty. Like Israel just be quick to be petty brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like they just mad he having dreams in the coat and they just sell him for slavery. Cain and Abel was just mad because God favored the sacrifice. Something so that small and petty.
It be more, I mean, if I'm wrong, it seems like it's more not even what it is, it's just it's the lack in them. You know what I'm saying? That make them mad. You know what I mean? Like what Cain, he lacked. Like it's so easy for me and you to get an order to clean up. And I'm undisciplined. I just clean up the corner. And you clean up the whole, you know, the room. Of course, you would get a reward. You know what I'm saying? It's just you lazy and undisciplined. You know what I'm saying? You just got a rebellion in you that like it probably wouldn't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? You would still be upset about something. You know what I mean? Anything?
No, like you said, I think that's the origin of, you know, what we consider hate. You see what I'm saying? Like, true brotherhood is you actually want to see your brother excel. You know, you actually want to see your brother, like, if he's getting rewarded or he getting raised up or whatever. You feel me? Like, you supposed to feel like you're part of that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did this together. We done built together. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what real brotherhood is. The hate comes in when you ain't really been a part of that. You see what I'm saying? You got a different agenda. That's when that hate gets exposed, you feel me?
That's exactly what I was trying to say as well. Like, you ain't really already been a part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said in the sense of like, it probably would have came out even if it wasn't that. If it was anything. Because you never was with it. You know what I'm saying? And like General Yohana always, you know, I hear him say it sometimes like in the sense of like a brotherly competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one brother passed his test. Dang, I got past mine. You know what I'm saying? You want to pass yours now. One brother get raised up. It should inspire you to do more. You know what I'm saying? So you could get raised up. That brotherly competition, that seeing your win, you know what I'm saying, boost you up. Like, yeah, I gotta win that. You know what I mean? Well, I want to win that. You know what I mean? Not to fall deep. That's deep. And it's depressing. You know what I'm saying? Just to see somebody win and you just hate and cry and just fall down. You know what I'm saying? And then want to beef. Like, you deserve whatever judgment the Most High gave you. For real, you a slouch. You in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, bro. On our blocks in the hood, bro. That person right there, don't nobody want to be around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes sometimes like when you want, like in school, somebody like that sometimes it always be like they already have an attitude anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. That person that be like that, it really don't matter what it is. They already showing that same attitude before you even win. You know what I'm saying? Or before you even accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying? They always got something to say. It's just in them. You know what I'm saying?
But could too, that's a clear-cut sign of oppression. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
That's what it comes down. It boils down to that. You know, like, because we are so oppressed, like, and we get frustrated with each other. You understand? But the brotherhood is even seeing that he got that spirit on him. He got that spirit on him, but I know why he got that spirit on him.
Right.
You understand? Like, I ain't really got to do nothing to him. You see what I'm saying? Like, I could be a brother to him. Like, I know Jeremiah said it one time, the only thing that can be hate is blood, bro. I mean, I'll be a brother to him because I know why he's got an attitude. I know why he's a hater. You understand? Because he's oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just been fortunate to answer that call and come out and learn this brotherhood right here. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we're trying to get everybody else, all the rest of Israel here. You understand? So we ain't got to have that spirit with each other. But that's where it comes from. It comes from oppression.
It sounds off from the title, but I give him a hand. We're going to get some more into this. So Joseph being sold into slavery by his brothers, right? And he in Egypt. Where we at? We at Genesis
42:1, sir.
42:1. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 1. Now when Jacob saw there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons.
You said 42:1.
Yes, sir.
We did 41 and we read Genesis 41, then we're gonna start at all right, cool. So you're gonna read 41 and 12.
Come on, Con.
12.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 12. And there was with us a young man, an Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream, he did interpret.
So now, Joshua is starting to build up a reputation, right, of interpreting dreams. You know what I'm saying? Why I don't know if he locked up, right? Well, he has a guard while he's in captivity in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to build up a reputation that, that you go to him when you have a dream so he can interpret it. Go ahead and continue.
Verse 13. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon.
All right, so now his reputation, right? He built up a reputation. Now Pharaoh called him because Pharaoh wants him to do a service for him and interpret something for him. Go ahead, continue. That's a lot. This Pharaoh, this is the king of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? This is like the president of America. Vladimir Putin calling you while you in captivity. You know what I'm saying? They come, y'all, listen, I had this, come interpret this for, but you a slave. You in captivity from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? That your brothers on your block just did you dirty. You just like, man, you know what I mean? Now you end up somewhere in a country where they probably don't speak the same language. You know what I'm saying? Different customs and traditions. You really like in a strange land.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? And you just doing you inside of captivity with the other people that are in captivity. Maybe with the God's head. You know what I'm saying? And then you get called up by Pharaoh, right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came unto Pharaoh. Verse 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it.
Right? So he said, man, I heard about you, that you can interpret the dream. That's what Pharaoh's saying to him. And it must be urgent because they hurried up and got cleaned him up and all that, bring him up in front of Pharaoh. Pharaoh told him what the deal was. Listen, I had something and something came past me. I heard you can, you can tell me what it means, what it is. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
So Joseph in the right spirit, you know what I'm saying? And he's a soldier of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? He told him it's not me, it's in the Most High, you know what I'm saying? So he told him the dream, and the dream was there was a famine coming, right? We're not gonna read into it, but there was a famine coming, and that was basically the dream that Pharaoh had. He interpreted it and he advised him how he should prepare for this famine. You know what I mean? And Joseph began to gain ranks in Egypt, you know what I'm saying, in power, and climb up the ladder, as though he became second in command over Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You become second in command over Russia, right? For example, right? You know what I'm saying?
From jail, sir.
From East Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? You become second in command of Russia. We're going to go to Genesis 42:1.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do you look upon one another? Verse 2. And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get ye down thither, and buy us from thence, that we may live and not die.
So now Jacob, right? They're where they at. I think they still in the land of Canaan, if I'm correct, sir. They're still in the land of Canaan, right? Right. So Jacob is in there with his sons, and it's a famine that has hit. The famine that he had a dream about, it hit, and he told them to go to Egypt, right? Because they don't know where Joseph at. They sold him into slavery. His father don't know where he at, right? You know what I'm saying? His father was hurt about that. I didn't go into that, but Jacob was hurt about that. You know what I'm saying? I think he thought he died. Right. You know what I'm saying? They told him. I'm cliche. They told him that he died. So he telling them now, his other sons, go get us some food. This is the second time that he's telling them. They already went and got some food the first time, and Joseph already knew who they was. Now Jacob telling them to go back a second time and go get some food because everything that they got was gone, right? So that's where we at right now. Go ahead.
In verse 3, and Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. Verse 4, but Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, least peradventure mischief befall him.
So he told him to keep he said basically that Benjamin so he said he's gonna keep Benjamin, the younger brother, that nothing may slide. Yeah, so Jacob didn't want to send Benjamin with him just in case something happened, right? Now the 10 brothers, right? And also another thing, Jacob to give you better clarity on it, because it is Black history. Jacob had 10 sons, right? Joseph had 2 more sons, which would be Jacob's grandson, that made up the 12 tribes. You know what I mean? Ephraim was one of them, and Manasseh. You know what I mean? So that made up the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So y'all got that. So he sent his 10 sons to go out there. He said, just hold Benjamin back. You know what I'm saying? Just in case something.
It's like, but that was after this too. Like, he had other sons. Like,
Ephraim and Manasseh,
before they came, it was still 12.
before they came to where? Egypt?
Yeah, because so you got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin.
Mhm.
So that's 12. But later on, Ephraim and Manasseh. Remember Dan?
Merged.
Yeah,
And
so
Reuben was
and that's why you don't see. That's why you don't see Joseph up there, because Ephraim and Manasseh represents Joseph. So those 2 spots for Joseph and Dan, like that's what the Ephraim and Manasseh is.
so he had 11 sons.
He had 12,
Yeah, 12.
but Dan missing. But he not missing, but Dan. Joseph was there.
Dan pretty much grafted in, right?
Come.
So now you down to 11,
Right.
So Joseph, he's not named,
Come.
so that's 10.
Come.
So Ephraim and Manasseh takes that then to make that 12.
Come. But I got you. But Ephraim and Manasseh was still Joseph's.
They were Joseph's sons.
They were Joseph's sons.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let you
Yeah.
come and see all that. All right. So now he sent his 10 sons out there to go get more food. So they went back out there to feed their brother, to get more food from their brother, which they don't know is their brother yet. Now, all right, cool. We're gonna go to Genesis 46:1. So now, when he went back out there, eventually Joshua revealed himself to him, right? You know what I mean? Meaning, let them know that Genesis 42:1.
46.
Genesis 46:1.
Oh.
So Joshua revealed himself to his brothers, let them know who he
Joseph.
Joseph revealed himself to his brothers and let them know who he was. You know what I'm saying? And I think we might have passed it. A great nation. But eventually, when Jacob passed away, right? That the brothers were so scared that to think that Joshua would Joseph's life, that Joseph would get even back with him with it. That actually, when Jacob passed away, that they put in a letter or in some written scribes to him that, you know, saying that Jacob is requesting that he, you know, do right by his brothers, you know what I'm saying, even his servants. So, but I wanted to throw that out there so y'all can know. But we're gonna get into Genesis 46:1.
It's like, but good too, just to add on, like, did you see how you see Joseph, how you see him become the second powerful in Egypt, and you see when his brother had to come to him. That was prophetic from his dreams previously.
Come.
That shows you he wasn't tripping. He wasn't like on some I'm better than y'all tip. That was actually the Lord prophesying that this was going to happen.
Come, yes. We're gonna get into that. But God, that dream that Joseph had, it actually came true. You know what I'm saying? So and this is why, in the truth, just being patient and enduring, you know what I'm saying, can save you a lot of it can save you a lot of judgment from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And you know, eventually, brothers still had to pay for, you know, what they did. But that's how, like, just being patient and just holding on, like, enduring. You know what I'm saying? Even when you feel like it's the last end, like, that's like that trust in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That is that trust in the Most High. Like, that you depend on Him for everything. That's like real dedication right there. You know what I'm I'm saying? That this is, I'm just for yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? When you paying your tithes, right? I had talked to somebody about paying their tithes, and I'm like, yo, pay your tithes as soon as you get your, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I pay my tithes as soon as I get my check, right? Like looking at it and saying like I don't have nothing really. I'm off $30 from my bill. Like, yo, just knock that joint out, you know what I'm saying? And knock it out early. And sometime through the week, you're gonna think about another way to recuperate back on, you know what I'm saying, and make that money out. That's just how it is. Something gonna come out, you're gonna make a move, you know what I'm saying? Your brain gonna start working itself, you know what I'm saying? So having patience, you know what I'm saying, and trusting in the Most High, and that dream came true. So all of that stuff they did, I mean, could have worked out a different way. But boy, we're gonna get more into Genesis 46 and 1.
Genesis chapter 46, verse 1. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the Most High for his father Isaac.
So Israel, Jacob, he took all his family and he took his journey up there. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read verse 10.
Verse 2, verse 10.
Verse 2.
Like it. Verse 2. And God spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here I am. Verse 3. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not. Go down to Egypt, for I will there make thee a great nation.
So down there, he's gonna make Israel a great nation in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And this is how Israel got to be in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? This is our history. This is how we made our way into Egypt, right? Where Moses had to free us out of bondage out of Egypt, right? So boom, now we're gonna get to Exodus 1 and 1.
Oh, God. Exodus chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Verse 2, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Verse 3, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Verse 4, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher.
Now you look behind it, you can see all these tribes, right? This for the Black, Hispanic, and First Nation. We make up the tribe of Israel. Every last one of these tribes you see on there, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Haitians, the Guatemala and Panama, the Mexicans, right? Chile, Argentina, everybody that's in the Cubans, Donald Trump, the Jamaicans, the West Indians, right? And the blacks in America, the Negroes, all of those 12 tribes was in Israel. All those 12 tribes, which is Israel, was in Egypt. That's how we made our way in there. It was famine everywhere anyway. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, man, go down there. You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Joseph is the second in command in Egypt. Like, you know what I mean? Go down there. So now we in Egypt, right? So go ahead, continue.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 5.
Oh, hold on. Go down to verse 8.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt.
Now arose a new king over Egypt. Not the Pharaoh or the king that got his dream interpreted by Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read.
Which knew not Joseph. Verse 9. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more than mightier than we.
You know what I'm saying? Israel grown more in numbers. You know what I mean? We already talented. You know what I mean? We already crafty or artistic. We already mightier. You know what I'm saying? We do things better. You know what I mean? We stand out, we influence. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, continue. It's a lot. Pharaoh sees this. He's watching us multiply. You know what I'm saying? He's watching another nation inside Egypt grow and be great and grow in power and be mighty. You You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
Let us deal wisely with them. Like America deals wisely with us. You know what I'm saying? They create crap. You know what I mean? And put it into our community. They dealing wisely with us, right? The prison. They dealing wisely. They use it as a tool. You know what I'm saying? The music industry to influence our children to do these things. They dealing wisely with us because the same thing that's in Egypt can happen. And we grow mighty here. We grow mighty. We gain powerful positions. You know what I'm saying? We invent things. You know what I mean? Same thing in America. You know what I'm saying? But America follows after Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And just how they deal wisely with us, with our fathers, they deal wisely with us. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out of any war, where they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them out of the land.
So they trying to get Israel under control. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many of them, and they doing too much. They gaining too much positions here. They doing too much stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got to get them under control, and we got to keep them under our foot. You know what I mean? Go ahead, continue.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
So they said people that's appointed over us, you know what I'm saying, that would make our jobs harder. You know what I mean? Go ahead, continue.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Rameses.
Rameses, okay. So now we build treasure cities in Egypt. You know what I mean? Like we build great things in America. Like we contribute to the black scientists got into space, right? Got into the moon. Then they females they created the COVID vaccine. We make, when they call America great, right? Because of the things that America has done, Israel done those things. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If I may, we are the salt of the earth.
Don't come. We get flavor to the earth with our music industry and our design, our clothes, everything we do, our slang they want. You know what I'm saying? The way we talk, right? The way we dress. You know what I'm saying? The different things that we invent. You know what I mean? We made America this. The Hispanic, the Latino brothers. You know what I'm saying? The things that they build. You know what I mean? The way that they do it. You know what I'm saying? The time that they do it in. You know what I'm saying? That it's the same thing in Egypt. Go ahead.
Just like in Egypt, America's greatness comes from the fact that they got Israel as slaves. Egypt greatness came from the fact that they had Israel as slaves. It's the same exact thing. You see what I'm saying? It's no different. Just like when the Pharaoh said, like they may multiply and they gonna fight the enemies. That's the same thing that our person say right now. You know, we gotta make sure we got a hold on them, because Lord forbid they actually get together and raise up against us. What we gonna do?
Right. We gotta make sure we push homosexuality heavy in it.
There you go.
So like, we gotta make sure we push alternative lifestyle heavy in the community. We gotta keep that smoke coming out of that abortion clinic every day, just in case they wanna. You know what I mean? We gotta make sure these fathers ain't around. When in actuality, we making this place, we making it comfortable for you. Like, why get rid of that? You know what I mean? Why not try to make it even more easy and better for us? You know what I mean? Or the oppressor is evil. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
And he always gonna be like that. It will never change. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, continue where you at.
Verse 12.
So I give him a title about an handful. Go ahead.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied.
The more they multiply, you know what I'm saying? The more that you put Israel in bondage, the more they gonna multiply. You know what I'm saying? The more pressure and oppression, the more you oppress Israel, the more they multiply. Go ahead.
And grew, and they were grieved because the children of Israel Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field.
So they make your life harder. Well, they raise taxes up. You know what I mean? They make it harder. You know what I mean? Gas prices go up. They don't fix things up in your community, right? They let lead, be rampant in your community. They make it hard. You know what I mean? They want to keep the man. They want to unallow him if they can't fill the prisons up with him. You know what I mean? They want to promote. They want to over sexualize your young children. You know what I mean? They want to make it harder. You know what I'm saying? But we want to skip down to. Well, we already did. Go ahead, just keep reading.
Service in the field, all their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. Verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sephara, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
So they want to unalive our. He want to unalive our son. He wants to eliminate Israel.
Come.
Slowly but surely, he wants to eliminate Israel. He wants to eliminate Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like today, they want to unalive. They don't want you here. You know what I'm saying? But they got to do it with a strategy. They got to do it, how you say, they got to do it wisely. You know what I mean? And this is our history, right? And of course, we know we're not going to get into it. Of course, we know that the midwives was not with that. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say that they was lively and they feared God. You know what I mean? And because of that, they didn't unalive the sons of Israel. You know what I'm saying? They didn't unalive their own people. And because of that fear of God, Pharaoh ordered his people to, take all the sons, and throw them in the river. And cast them into the river and leave the daughters alive, right? And this is how Moses came. And Moses was saved his sister and his wife, put them in a basket, right, and sent them to Pharaoh's I think it was his sister. His sister, to Pharaoh's sister. And that's how Moses came up in the rank. And he seen the thing that the people was going through, and slightly. And before I get to that, he seen what the people, he seen what the people was going through, and he knew that he was Israel. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't understand that why are we fighting each other? You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be working with each other. Look at y'all. You know what I'm saying? He ended up going on the run. You know what I'm saying? He ended up leaving Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Because he fought for Israel and unalive. You know what I'm saying? A soldier of Egypt. You know what I mean? And, he was wanted for that. He was scared. You know what I'm saying? So he left. But he did come back because the Most High spoke to him. But we don't want to get too far. I want to go in Exodus 2 and 23. Because Exodus 2 and 23, let me know when you got it. Exodus 2 and 23 is going to tell us, because of all of this hardness that Pharaoh put on us, right? All of this this bondage, you know what I'm saying? And the bitterness and making our lives bitter and even trying to unalive, our fathers, you know what I'm saying? That the Most High heard our cries. We're going to get into it in Exodus 2 and 23.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 23. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto God by the reason of the bondage. Verse 24. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob.
The Most High heard the cries of Israel, and he remembered the promises that he made with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And he heard it and he came. You know what I'm saying? And he came through. And this is when Moses came. You know what I'm saying? The seven and the plague of darkness, locusts, hail, boils, the water turning into blood, frogs covering over Egypt, flies covering over Egypt. All these plagues start hitting Pharaoh to let the people go, right? And eventually we got us out. We came out. Moses freed us out of Egypt. We went into the wilderness, right? And the reason that we went into the wilderness is because Moses said we had to prove, you know what I'm saying? We had to prove ourselves in that wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard in that wilderness. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some more into it. We're gonna get into, matter of fact, before we get into that, we're gonna get into Exodus 12 and 29. I skipped this. I just explained it, but I skipped it. So we're gonna get into what I just explained. Exodus 12 and 29.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of the Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive, the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle.
All right, so now this is the last plague that came. You know what I'm saying? Before Pharaoh let us go, that the slaughter of the firstborn in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And where we was instructed to take the blood of the lamb and put it on our doorposts, and that the angel of death would pass by, knowing that what the Most High told us to do, we followed it, and He gave grace and went on to the next house. You know what I'm saying? So it says there wasn't a house in Egypt that didn't have an unalive person in it. You know what I mean? Whether it was cattle, you know what I'm saying, a mouse, a firstborn mouse, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? The Most High heard the cries of Israel and He came through. And this is our history. You know what I'm saying? This is how the Most High, you know what I'm saying, came to our rescue. You know what I'm saying? Being in bondage in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He'll do it again with this oppressor right here. You know what I mean? But after this all happened, we was in the wilderness, right? So we come out of bondage the same way like today in America. If we all just got kicked out of America right now, like all Black, Hispanic, and First Nation people got kicked out. You know what I'm saying? You got all of these different issues that you coming into the wilderness with. You know what I mean? You don't follow the laws. You follow on other customs. You celebrate Christmas, Halloween, right? You sleeping with other brothers' wives. You know what I'm saying? You unaliving each other, right? You arguing. You have no brotherhood. You don't have no sisterhood. Everything that we do in America, we are taking this with us. You know what I'm saying? After us getting kicked out of this oppressive land, right? So now we in the wilderness with all this. And Moses, right? One person, you know what I'm saying, at the time, is trying to get us, trying to get us together. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And I also want to get into this. This is how I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was explaining to them about they said they don't want to be under the, not yesterday, but they said they don't want to be under the authority of like a king. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody being over. This is why we have the order and the leadership in here, because the Most High directed us because we need it. You know what I'm saying? Because without it, we'd be just like we are here in this oppressive land and how we was in our wilderness after we left out of Egypt.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Go to Deuteronomy 1 and 9. Oh, for sure. Can you give me 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21?
Like it. So Deuteronomy 1, verse 9.
Deuteronomy 1 and 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 9. And I spake unto you at the time, saying, I am not able to bear you, thee myself alone. Verse 10. The Lord your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are in this day as the stars of the heaven for multitude.
So now we are multiplied greatly. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Most High told Jacob before he went to Egypt. When he told him to go to Egypt, like, go ahead, I'm gonna make you a great nation. You know what I'm saying? You want to multiply Egypt. So now we going into the wilderness. A lot of us. You know what I'm saying? Imagine there's millions of people coming out of America coming out of this oppressive land, going into the wilderness, right? And he's telling them, he's speaking to them at this time, saying, I'm not able to bear you myself alone. Everybody got issues that they bringing in. They following, they smoking hookah and the other stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the cannabis. You know what I'm saying? And they just following all types of traditions. Over here doing Tai Chi, meditating, and whatever laws that they do over there in Asia. I forget what they call them laws. The same thing as the Proverbs. They just reworded the book of Proverbs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they doing all of that. This person over here, she got her stones. You know what I mean? She over here with like, you got all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They over here with their magic cups, huh?
Right.
Sage, they burning sage over here. You know what I mean? He burning sage next to him. He got his magic cup praying to Allah. You know, he like, bro, you got your sage? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That is just chaotic. You know what I mean? Brothers going over here, leaving this woman. She like, it's just chaotic. That's all we dealing with while we in the wilderness. And then that's another problem that's for us that we deal with. We in the wilderness. You gotta work together. You in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? You just come out of having a place to stay and eat, a place where to cook, and with your children. Now you got fights, and you supposed to have brotherhood. It gotta be some type of order where though you won't be. Think about people using the bathroom. I mean, it could be using a bathroom, a place where, I lay right here. Why would you do that right here? Won't you? It's all types of issues that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Sir, if I just tuned in like 20 seconds ago, I would have thought everything you were saying, you was talking about America today.
Right. Come. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to think of it when I'm in the wilderness. And Moses is trying to deal with all of this. You know what I'm saying? Millions of people. He trying to deal with this all at one time. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the one who led them out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot. So this is why we got this scripture right here gonna show you why we have the ranks that we have, why we have the order and the leadership that we have. Go ahead.
Verse 11. No, verse 10, Salaki. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 10. The Lord your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. Verse 11. The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times, so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you. Verse 12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife?
And this is everything that he's dealing with. He's dealing with all the issues of Israel. Go ahead. Verse 13.
Verse 13. Take you wise men and understanding, and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you.
So now he's taking the wise men and the men of understanding, right? In the ISUPK, you go through a trial to build that wisdom up and that understanding up. You start from a trooper, you know what I'm saying? And as you learn more and you prove yourself, you gain more responsibility, you know what I'm saying? And more power, you know what I mean? And up in the ranks and until you become one like a general, you know what I'm saying? Or a captain, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 14. And ye answered me and said,
All right, that's enough. So, yeah, we get the gist of that. That's why we have that. Yes, so now we're gonna get into we're gonna get into Deuteronomy Deuteronomy chapter 28:1. Well, that was Thessalonians. You got that?
Come on. The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
Prove what?
All things.
Prove a little bit.
All things.
Prove half of it.
All things.
Prove only the stuff that you feel good about.
All things.
And prove all things. You know what I'm saying? That's why I went into this. So if you got a problem with rank and following an order, then you need to work on getting that demon right. You know what I'm saying? You need to work on getting that demon off you. You know what I'm saying? You need some discipline. You feel me? Because the Most High has an order to help you not be in bondage, not have to deal with the same things that you want to go on podcasts and talk shows and talk about. You know what I'm saying? That you think that this is intelligent conversation and just talk about problems. You know what I'm saying? You talk about these things you deal with. But the Most High has an order in the ring. You know what I'm saying? To help you put yourself in order so we can eliminate that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And prove all things. So I put that in there so to let you know that this is what we're doing. We prove all things. This is why we got this rank in this order in the ISUPK in this school. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be in chaos with no order, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be somewhere that has order. That's basically what he was saying. He don't want to be somewhere where it has order. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why not? You don't want a family. You don't want to be in a family. You don't want to work. Like, of course you don't want to work, but you don't want to have you don't want to have no type of
Accountability.
You don't want to have this like the water. You don't want to have no type of accountability. You know what I'm saying? You just want chaos.
Right.
But at the same time, you want to complain about the chaoticness that is around you. But you want it though. You know what I'm saying? It's dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. We're going to get into Deuteronomy. Yes, I'm saying.
I mean, that represents the majority of us. I would say, like right now, the 2/3, most of our people who know that they're Israel, they don't want to be a part of this body. They'd rather be individualized.
And it's Con, you absolutely right. On the other hand, they ain't worried about the order. They don't want to have to do anything. They just lazy. They want things to just come. That's something that the Christian church has just brainwashed us to believe, that things just going to just drop out of the sky. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, when I was younger, my mom prayed for a computer. And we ain't had no plan to save up for nothing. It was just, a computer was going to come. She cleared out a whole desk and was like, yeah, the computer going to be right there. No, you got to go put something, you got to work. You got to put some work in to get the computer. You know what I'm saying? And save some money up. Go ahead, what you saying?
It's like, so that's why it's important for us to be who we supposed to be in the truth, because here's the thing, like, the men before us, they did the same thing we're trying to do for those same people that want to be, lone wolves. You understand? Like, we are the proof to them that you don't have to do it that way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And even with the 2/3, like, it's prophesied, but here we trying to get everybody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We want the Most High to change his mind and say, I'm going to bring all Israel. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we work for. We work so that we ain't working for 1/3. You see what I'm saying? We working for the all of Israel. You understand? And that's why it's so important for us to be who we supposed to be. You understand? Because it's going to be somebody to recognize or links, and they hear the Most High calling them back because of the work they see in you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why we have such a heavy duty and a heavy job, you understand, to serve the Lord. Because, the Bible speak of the 2/3, but we trying to get everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's our goal.
That's right. You made me think of the what was the scripture? Man, I just read it today talking about how it's saying to let your light shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to talk with my real. You know what I'm saying? And it was going on the same thing about the work that we do. Like let your light shine. The light that shine is the work that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Do it. You know what I'm saying? And I had to talk about, got a little talent. I was saying, start doing that inside of the school. Let your light shine. That's how you let your light shine. And saying everybody has a different. You said, you corrected me when I said talent, gift. Everybody has a different gift. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gave to you. You know what I'm saying? Let your light shine through that gift. Like when people be asking, and it's a lot, you correct me if I'm wrong, sir. But like when people be saying, what's my purpose? You know what I'm saying? They is sitting here and they ask what their purpose. You know what I'm saying? My rib asked me, what's my purpose? Like what I'm supposed to do. I just told him, just make it easier for me. But I also require that let your light shine. You know what I mean? She good with children. She want to be a midwife. Whoa, yeah, midwife. Israel needed it. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy was we brought it up, and I already was researching, was going over the scripture, and we went into in Exodus about when Pharaoh tried to kill, unalive the firstborn sons. And I was like, yo, that ain't no different when today they still try to do it. You know what I'm saying? Pulling you, they do it wisely, yanking on them and a little hit. Like, yo, let Israel take care of Israel. Let's gather ourselves together. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? We gonna serve each other so we won't have to deal with the oppression. You know what I'm saying? From this land. You know what I'm saying? Let your light shine, whatever you good at. That whatever you have that gift in, bring it in here and do it. You know what I'm saying? And take on more work. Like let that start off with that. Start off with your gift, bringing it in here. You know what I'm saying? Building up this nation, building up your school, and building it up, and then building up your nation. You know what I'm saying? But that was it. Go ahead, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 1. So we just went in through the history. All right, we got a little bit of time. We're gonna run quickly through this. All right, so we just went into the history of how Israel, you know what I mean, the 12 sons either got into bondage in Egypt, right, with the sons of Jacob, getting into it, having a jealousy with their brother Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And how he gained power till he was second in command in Egypt, and turning around and his dream coming true. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What the Most High gave to him coming true, and then him saving his family. You know what I mean? And then them multiplying in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Being a great nation that the Most High told Jacob that they would become. You know what I'm saying? Over and over, these prophecies and these things that's in these records are coming true, right? And then, they go into bondage, right? And it becomes hard, and the Most High hears our father's cries, and he raises up a prophet, Moses, to come take us out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Moses gives rank and gives order. You know what I'm saying? And relays with the Most High, the covenant that the Most High is bringing to us, right? The agreement that I will be your God. You know what I'm saying? And that y'all will be my people. You know what I'm saying? And you will be a great nation in the land. You know what I mean? And there will be a difference between you and the other nations, right? And these are the things that you should do. And he gave us laws and commandments and statutes. You know what I'm saying? Things that show our holiness. You know what I mean? That show our holiness with the other nations, right? And it was a simple agreement. I did this for you. And I did this for you because I love you and I want you to do this, right? So now we got all of that. We got that a covenant, that agreement, and now he's telling us, now listen, I did this for you, right? I told you what you're supposed to do. Now, if you don't do it, these are going to happen to you. And if you do it, these blessings are going to happen to you. So now right here, we're about to get into the curses and the blessings after generations from Jacob all the way down to Moses, right? Of how we went into bondage and came out and You know what I mean? And everything that happened. So here we go.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee high above all nations of the earth. Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
And if hearken means to listen, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Blessed you be in the city and in the county, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Verse 5. Blessed shall thou be by Salakia. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
And blessed shall be your currency or whatever your trading is. You know what I'm saying? If you selling something, it'll be blessed. You know what I'm saying? It'll make out. You know what I'm saying? Your children will be blessed. Your cattle will be blessed. You know what I'm saying? You'll have lots of cattle. The cattle will have lots of cattle. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, it'll be healthy. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
And blessed, you will be blessed wherever you go. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face.
And your enemies won't even stand a chance against you. They'll be taken down right in front of your face. Go ahead.
They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. Verse 8. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and all that thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So he's going to bless you and he's going to bless the land. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the purpose of whatever the Most High directed for things to go in the world, you'll get a lot of it. Right. You'll make you'll be blessed then. You'll have enough. You'll have more than enough. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to go down to verse 15, right? And 15 is what we just went through is if you follow these laws, you'll be blessed wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever you make. You know what I'm saying? Whatever land you in, and your land will be blessed. You know what I'm saying? You'll have everything you need. Your children will be blessed. You know what I'm saying? These are the blessings that will happen to you if you follow, if you continue to uphold the covenant that he made with your fathers when he freed them out of Egypt. When the Most High did that favor for us. You know what I mean? When he freed us out of Egypt, if you continue in that covenant, right? That's the way you repay them back. You know what I'm saying? That by just doing what the Father says. You know what I'm saying? You'll be blessed. And this is the curses. What will happen to you if you don't keep this covenant, if you break it, this will happen to you. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the God, to the Lord, unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
They'll overtake you like today. You know what I'm saying? They'll overtake you like today. You know what I'm saying? And think about everything that you got to deal with throughout the month. Everything you got to pay for. You know what I'm saying? And then the money that you make don't even amount to the amount of things that you got to kick out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even then, somehow, you still manage. It's just sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's impossible. Really. When you put it out on paper, it's impossible. But somehow, some way, you know what I mean? For some, they manage. You always right there at the head. If not, homeless or something like that. Think about the pedophilia, that runs through the black community. You know what I'm saying? Like, every female has been, that's it. You know what I mean? I have not since I've been adult, I have not ran into a female that something has not happened to her that she didn't want to happen. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was like that when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that I'm older, it's like, hey, everybody. Not one, You know what I'm saying? These are curses. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field.
You go outside on your block on the corner, you'll be cursed. You'll be unalive. Even if you get rich like PNB Rock, you know what I'm saying? And you think you move to the county or to Beverly Hills, you'll be unalive. Wasn't PNB Rock unalive in Beverly Hills?
Nah.
Somebody was unalive in Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? You would think they would be
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. He was unalive in Beverly Hills. He's not good in the city or in the field. You know what I'm saying? That's a prophecy right in Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? I thought you supposed to be Beverly Hills is a gated community, ain't? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Cursed shalt thou thy basket in thy store.
And you live in paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? You trying to hustle up and make some money. Well, somehow that takes you right at all of your bills. You know what I'm saying? You was right at all of your bills when you was living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Then you started hustling and you like, oh, this not adding up. I'm
Right.
supposed to be having more money.
Right.
Now I'm still just right here. So then, like, if I stop hustling, if I stop doing the extra joint, it don't add up. It don't add up on people. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land.
The curse shall be your children. You know what I'm saying? They'll have to deal with all, listen, music, influencing. You know what I'm saying? They children dancing in sexy red. Like they can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And the fruit of thy land, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Verse 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vaccination, and rebuke, and all thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou destroy, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Because of your wickedness, and you forsaken him, you turn away from the Most High, and you start following after Babylon's tradition, Nimrod's birthday. You know what I'm saying? You want to do Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? You want to worship other idols, and then disguise it and say, well, I'm not doing it for that.
Going for the kids.
I'm doing it for the children. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm just having dinner with family, with people made turkeys all over the wall, and you know what I'm saying? And you following the same tradition. You know what I'm saying? You're not keeping your statutes. The Passover, which is coming up in Durham, North Carolina, April the 20th. You know what I'm saying? You're not keeping the Passover, which is a reminder of this. You know what I'm saying? It's a reminder. That's Passover is Black history. You know what I'm saying? You're not keeping the Feast of Purim. You're not keeping none of these. You don't want to even be under leadership. You don't want to be under the order that the Most High has given to you. You know what I'm saying? That would protect you. That would have you not having to deal with all of these curses. You know what I'm saying? And that's the history. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got into bondage in Egypt. That's how we got out of it. And that's how we got, and this is where we get these laws and these curses. And you have an opportunity, you have a choice. You know what I'm saying? You can get into the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana and follow these laws and these commandments and statutes and break these curses, you know what I'm saying, and get these blessings that we explain. You know what I'm saying? Where you could continue in sin and get curses and get everything that you see outside and get everything that you see outside the door. And with that, you got to ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Out of 126 feet up. Come on out here, I was getting ready. We go class to class to Officer Dana Yahala.
announcements. Right, so come on. Right. The security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 verse 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and pronounced Masharah. Mayashara. 10% of every penny of it, and any increase of the Lord gives you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. And the upcoming Holy Convocation is the Passover on April 20th in North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina. I want y'all to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. Now we'll be giving a salute to the teacher. Men of Israel. What's it like? Okay, we want to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amaya Shabbat. Amaya. Yahweh Shabbat. Shabbat. Amaya. Oh, Barak. Yahweh Shabbat. Yahweh Shabbat. Bless his ministry.